Finally, putting an end to all speculations, Iran launched a ballistic missile attack targeting Israel.
Israel says missiles have been launched from Iran.
And there were frequent explosions as they were shot down by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system.
Iran fired about 180 ballistic missiles at various Israeli cities on Tuesday night.
Moments ago, the Israel Defense Forces.
The Israeli army said this in a statement on Tuesday. After the attack, sirens blared across Israel and explosions were heard in various locations across Israel. Citizens of the country fled in search of safe shelter. Reporters were seen lying on the ground during a live broadcast on Israeli state television. Israeli military, they say about 180 missiles were fired and many were shot down, but there were also some casualties in the central and southern regions. Several people were injured.
I speak a lot about the leaders of Iran, yet at this pivotal moment,
Israel has also threatened that Iran will suffer the consequences of this attack. Iran also said if Israel responds to this attack, more terrible attacks will be carried out. What do you think Israel will attack Iran? Israel's current strategy may be to pursue a two-pronged approach: assassination, airstrikes, and deterrence, to convince Iran and shadow powers that an attack on Israel will be met with greater force. What is the reason for Iran's sudden attack on Israel? 27th of September 2024. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said the missile attack was carried out in response to the recent Israeli airstrike in Lebanon that killed Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah and senior Iranian commanders. Just last Saturday, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, vowed to avenge the killing of his ally, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. Iran fired missiles at Tel Aviv after Israeli forces launched a limited ground operation in Lebanon on Tuesday. Almost a year ago, Israel attacked Gaza in Palestine. Their indiscriminate bombing has killed more than 40,000 people in Gaza. The conflict in the Middle East has taken a new dimension with the start of Israel's ground operation in Lebanon today, after the start of that war. The attack on Israel was carried out on Tuesday night mainly as a response to this incident. The U.S. said it helped Israel destroy Iran's missiles. On the other hand, the United Kingdom said that British soldiers participated in the war to support Israel.
Britain stands full square against such violence.
Meanwhile, Israel carried out airstrikes on Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, despite Iran's attacks. The country claimed that the attack was carried out on Hezbollah targets.
Now, just a few days ago, Ayman Safadi, the foreign minister.
The UN Security Council is going to meet on Wednesday to discuss this conflict. Iran launched the missile attack after Israeli forces launched an operation against what they called Hezbollah terrorist targets in southern Lebanon. Israel launched the operation after years of conflict in the border area centered on the Gaza war. They say that they have launched this attack to bring back the displaced residents of the border area to safety due to Hezbollah attacks. However, there are widespread fears that the long-running dispute between Israel and Hezbollah could lead to a regional war that could involve both Iran and the United States. Crude oil prices started to rise overnight after Iran's missile attack. Brent crude oil prices rose 1% to $74.40 a day. Iran ranks 7th among oil-producing countries in the world. After the missile attack, people took to the streets of Tehran and started celebrating. Many of them held Iranian and Hezbollah flags and pictures of Hassan Nasrallah. In a letter sent to the UN Security Council and the UN Secretary General, Iranian Ambassador Amir Said Eravani said, "The attack was carried out in response to the assassination of senior Hamas and Hezbollah leaders." He said that there will be a stronger response to future Israeli attacks. On the other hand, Israel's ambassador, Dani Danon, announced that Iran's latest attack will be answered appropriately. "We have no desire for war, but when our civilians are being attacked like this, we cannot sit idly by," he said. Iran has been accusing the Security Council of being inactive throughout the last week. The country says the council should take tough measures against Israel before an all-out war breaks out in the Middle East. Before the missile attack, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a video message to Israelis that we are on the offensive against Iran's axis of evil. On the other hand, a senior White House official told reporters in Washington, Iran will have to suffer extreme consequences if there is a direct military attack from Iran on Israel. Earlier in April, Iran launched more than 300 drone strikes on Israel in response to the Israeli attack on the Iranian consulate in Syria that killed several top commanders. At that time, almost all drones were shot down by Israel, the United States, and their Arab allies. An Israeli airbase was damaged in the attack. In response, Israel attacked an Iranian airbase. Whichever path Israel takes, Iran's counterattack will become inevitable, and the two countries will be locked in a perpetual cycle of attack and retaliation.